Hello my loves, and welcome to this video all about the 9 tips for when you feel lost in life. Now this video is based off of a blog post that is on my website, and now this is my most popular blog post to date. Last year in 2021 we had over 50,000 views on this post, and this year we're already at 21,000 views. So I just wanted to add as well that I am going to be filming some videos like this one that you're about to watch for my channel, which are life tips, just real kind of things that you can do in your life to create a better life, to create a life that works for you, a life on your own terms, and a life that encourages you and helps you to live as your true authentic self. So interweaved into my creative journaling videos and all the other things that are going to be making their way into my channel, these videos are also going to be featured here and there, probably a bit sporadically, and they're going to be all about things that you can do to help you improve your life, and especially if you're feeling at a point where you're not sure how to move forwards. These are going to be life tips that are going to help you do exactly that. So I really hope you find them useful. Just before we get stuck into this video, I am rocking some new hair. This is the first time I've had my hair done by a professional since I was about 16, so well over 17 years ago. I'll let you do the maths, and I'm loving it. Still need to get used to curling it a bit, but yeah, really enjoying it. So anyway, let's get stuck into this video where I'm going to be sharing with you the 9 tips for when you feel lost in life. So these are 9 simple tips that you can use when you feel lost in life to find your direction, find a way to move forwards, because let's face it, we all feel lost in life at some point. It is totally normal to feel lost, to feel a bit stuck. You're on a journey. Life is one big journey, and let's be real, right? It's not linear. It's not a straight line. There's ups, there's downs, there's circles, there's highs, there's lows. There is so much that goes on in this journey that we call life, and you are bound to feel stuck or lost at some point. It is totally normal, and I just want to reassure you that. And I also want to share with you that although sometimes it can feel like those around us have it all together, they know what they're doing, they know where they're headed, they know what they want from life, they were probably at a point where they felt lost and stuck at some point, not that long ago maybe, and they have taken steps to figure out where they want to get to. Also, I want to also remind you that not everything is what it seems. So some people may seem like they have it all together, but they might not. So, especially when we look at social media and things like that, we see a highlight reel of people's lives. But the reality is everyone goes through highs, lows, ups, downs, the different chapters in life, the different things in life that we all experience. Everyone goes through those. So rest assured that you are not alone when it feels probably like you are alone. And I just want to add as well, before I get stuck into these 9 tips, that when you feel lost or stuck in life, this is an opportunity for you to kind of hit the reset button, to start with a fresh blank slate, to figure out where you want to go and what you want to do and how you want to move forwards. So actually, I want to reframe this kind of feeling of lostness to actually an opportunity to start a new chapter. Okay, so here we go with tip number 1, and that is to accept that you feel lost and maybe even alone, and accept that it's okay to feel lost and maybe a bit alone and a bit lonely at this point in your life. And once you accept that, and once you acknowledge that you have the power to kind of do something about it, that's when you kind of come to peace with that feeling of lostness, and you realize that you have that control and you have that power to make these changes and make these decisions and do something about it so that you can move forwards. So tip number 1 is to accept that it's okay to feel lost. Tip number 2 is that you are in control of your emotions, and it's really important that you remember that. So tip number 2 is remembering that you are in control of your emotions. And now this may be a bit of a mindset shift for you, because sometimes when we feel lost, when we feel like the world is against us, or we feel hopeless, we slip into kind of a negative and a bit of a victim mindset. Now I really want you to kind of reframe this, and I want you to realize that this is an opportunity, and actually you can control how you react and respond to things, and the only person in control of your mind and your emotions is yourself. So you have that power to, change and flip the switch around how you see the world and around how you portray yourself and how you hold yourself and how you decide you want to move forwards with things. So tip number 2 is remembering that you are in control of your emotions. Tip number 3 is to focus on the things you're good at. When we feel like this, we can really hyper focus and focus in on the things that we're maybe not so good at and the things that people have maybe told us that we're not very good at. But actually, why not flip that again? And then there's a lot to do with your mindset and the way you're kind of thinking when it comes to this. And flip that and start thinking about, what are your strengths? What are the things that you're good at? Maybe it's about discovering some new things that you're good at, trying some new things that you've wanted to try for a long time, but maybe have always been a bit scared to try something new. And it's about focusing on those things that you are good at and spending more time doing those things, especially if you enjoy them. So instead of focusing on your weaknesses, I encourage you to focus on the things you are good at. Focus on your strengths and focus on becoming better at those things. And actually it will help you to realize there are some things you are really, really good at. So tip number 3 is to focus on the things that you are good at. Tip number 4 is to develop healthy, positive habits. It's time to ditch those things that are just making you feel more lost, more confused, more unhappy, more stuck. Stop scrolling and looking at everyone else's life on social media. Stop slumping around, just doing things that aren't going to make you feel good about yourself. It's time to switch them out and start spending some time moving your body, eating wholesome foods, developing these positive, healthy habits, reading more, learning, opening your mind to new and exciting things that are out there, and start developing habits that are going to have a positive impact on your life. So tip number 4 is to develop positive, healthy habits. Tip number 5, one that I will shout from the rooftops, is to journal, and journal a lot, because this is where you're going to explore your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. You're going to explore exactly what you want from life. Ask yourself those hard questions. What do I want my life to look like? What do I want from my time on this planet? What's my purpose in life? What is the meaning of life? Ask yourself these really big, deep and meaningful questions, because that's where you're going to get some of your answers. I encourage you to really develop a regular, consistent journaling practice. Now, I really want to stress that doesn't have to be every day if that doesn't work for you. And also if it becomes a chore, don't do it every day. But I would recommend 3 to 4 times a week journaling and exploring, why do I feel lost? Why do I feel stuck? Where do I want to go? How do I want to move forward with this? So journaling a lot. Really getting stuck into your journal is tip number 5. And tip number 6 kind of plays into tip number 5, and that is do some soul searching. Really, really get down to the nitty gritty of what you want your life to really look like. What do you enjoy doing? What brings you joy? What do you want to fill your days with? What do you hate doing that you want to remove from your life? What changes do you want to make? Really strip it back and really get to the basics of what do you want from your existence? What do you want from your time here? So it very much links into tip number 5 with the journaling, and I think doing the soul searching in your journal, or maybe even having some deep and meaningful conversations with people around you, those people that are there to support you and listen to you. You can explore these things in a bit more detail with those people, because that's going to be really helpful, and you'll probably have some aha moments, some breakthroughs, and start realizing the things that actually you've been maybe doing for years that you hate, you don't enjoy. Swap them out, change them out for the things that actually do light you up and bring you joy. And if you're not sure about what those things are, then I encourage you to get out and try those new things. So as you can see, a lot of these tips, they're kind of interlinked, they interweave with each other, because we need to understand more about who we are and what we want, and we don't do that in life. We kind of just go through life following the path that society dictates, following what other people around us do, what our friends and family do, and what we think is the norm. I'm encouraging you to break free from that and start exploring, what do I want? Have the things that I've been doing, are they actually things I want to do, or am I just doing them because someone told me that's what I need to do with my life? So strip it back and spend some time really soul searching. That is tip number 6. Tip number 7 is to get yourself stuck into some personal development and self-help books. Now, there's an overwhelming amount of personal development and self-help books out there. But one that I would recommend that you read and you must be ready to read this, is The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And that will really help you to understand that the only time we have is now. And it will help you to understand that, you know, it's not worth wasting time doing things that we don't enjoy, and that you always have this choice. We have 3 choices actually. And I'm actually going to save those for another video because I think that's a really important one to explore. But you have choices. You can control certain things. There are certain things in life you can't control, but you can control certain things, and you can definitely control the way you respond and react to things. But anyway, back to the tip. That book I definitely recommend. But I encourage you to read books that resonate with you, and when you read the blurb or you read the reviews that feel like they align with you. And if you really aren't sure, I have got a couple of blog posts that I will drop in the description, which have some book links in there, some book suggestions, sorry. So I will drop that into the description box for you to have a look at, because there is an overwhelming amount of personal development and self-help books. And I'll be completely honest, a lot of them say the same thing. They all kind of just say it in a different way. So I will drop some book recommendations in the description box for you to have a look at. So tip number 7 is to get yourself stuck into some personal development and self-help books. And tip number 8 is to take action. It's fantastic to, you know, do all of this journaling, do all of this reading, do all of this soul searching, you know, sitting down with yourself and figuring out what it is you want to do with your life, what you want to spend your time on this planet doing. But that's not going to happen if you don't take action. So actually taking action and taking steps forwards. And now these can be baby steps. They do not need to be these big mammoth steps. You know, there might be some things that do feel really big. Maybe it's a career change. Maybe it's you're moving town, or you are breaking up with a partner because it's just not working. Those may feel like big steps, and no doubt they are, but these don't have to be big steps, is what I'm trying to get at here. These can be baby steps, and baby steps will add up to those bigger steps. You've just got to keep putting one foot in front of another and committing to moving yourself forwards. A lot of the reason we feel lost and stuck in life is because we get to that point where we feel lost and stuck in life, and then we don't do anything about it. And then we wallow and we just go down this negative kind of spiral, and it just goes down and down and down. Now, this is where action and aligned action, inspired action, there's lots of different phrases for it, but actually taking intentional action based on these things that you've discovered. So if you've done your journaling, you've done your reading, you've done your soul searching, and you've explored all these different facets and areas of your life that you want to change, and you've come up with some incredible things that you're getting really excited about, now it's time to take action. And that can feel really scary, but that's where the magic is going to happen, and that's where you're going to start moving forwards, and you're going to see positive changes in your life. So tip number 8 is to take action. And tip number 9, the final tip, is don't be afraid to ask for help. Whether that's seeking out a therapist, a counsellor, a coach, speaking to your friends around you, your family, do not be afraid to ask for help. And there's help in many, many different ways. There's people you can talk to, but don't be afraid to do this on your own. If you need accountability, maybe seek out a friend who you know that will help you along the way. If you need to make some really big changes and you really need the help of a professional, seek out that professional, whether it is a therapist, a counsellor, a coach, those types of things. A mentor maybe as well, but you know, don't be afraid to seek those people out, because they are out there and they can help you. I am one of them, but this is not a ploy to get you to sign up to my coaching services. This is purely me sharing my 9 tips on how you can move forward when you feel lost and stuck in life. So tip number 9, the final tip, is do not be afraid to ask for help and seek out that help. So I really, really hope that you have found these tips useful. Hopefully you can start implementing some of them if you are feeling like you are at a low point, or you're feeling lost and you're just really not sure how to move forwards. It might be that you don't adopt all 9 of these tips and that you cherry pick the ones you want to try, but I encourage you to do something, whether that is something really small, whether that's watching one of my Journal With Me videos, which I'll link at the end, whether that is just exploring what you want from life and just understanding more about who you are as a human being. Because as I said, we come into life and we just bumble through. We don't really think about these things until we have to. Until we reach these points in life, maybe where we hit rock bottom, or maybe where we go through a big life-changing experience where we go, oh, hang on a minute, who actually am I? You know, what do I want from my life? And then when that happens, we start exploring these things. So I encourage you to, you know, ask yourself the hard questions, spend some time exploring, pick the ones you want to try, or if you want to just go through all 9 of them and start, you know, implementing them into your life, then I encourage you to do that as well. But thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I wish you very much all the success moving forwards. If you need any help, any guidance, drop me some comments below, drop me a DM. All my details are on my channel. We can have a chat about it. And there are plenty of free downloads on my website as well, which will help you, specifically the Lost Workbook. So get yourself downloading that, and that will really help you to explore some of these things that we've discussed. And I will see you again very, very soon.